guys, welcome to Scripts and Screens, episode 12. I had to think of what episode we were on. I was like, hold on.
12, I know, I had to look at that.
13. But I'm Ashana Robinson.
I'm Imani Nicole.
So what did you do this weekend, Imani? I haven't asked you about your weekend in a while.
No, we've been skipping over that because I think our lives have been kind of in turmoil in like the best sense, you know, not like serious turmoil, just the typical life things that get to everybody. Not Shawnee's like, speak for yourself. No, you've been going through it. You're like a walking corpse at this point. Like, I don't know, like, but we're so glad you're still with us, and we are going to continue to put up prayers, and you're going to be A-okay. Honestly, just getting ready for the slumber party. Mm-hmm. I can kind of give you the little tidbits because you're gonna be helping me set up. Mm-hmm. But let me just tell you, I must really love y'all because you know me. You know, a man can't trick me. I'm not blowing a bag on a man. I'm just not doing it. But I'm blowing a bag on y'all. And I just want everybody to come in here with a great attitude, and I want everybody to have fun. But yeah, it's between like y'all being able to have an open bar, unlimited drinks, and being able to have something that's going to appeal to everybody.
You know, I cannot indulge in any of that, but I'll probably take a Benadryl and just force myself to stay up because that's equivalent of me being drunk.
Benadryl gonna have you sleepy as hell.
So I have to force myself to stay up because when I do that, it's like the same kind of like I feel like I'm.
Oh, okay. Well, you kind of loopy. I got you. Okay.
I did see this one thing. I got you. It's like drops, but it's not alcoholic. But it's like you can make wine or rosé, but it's supposed to give you the same.
Ooh.
Fun. So I might get some of that too.
Yeah. I mean, you're already lit. You don't really need the liquor. So I just wanted y'all to be able to come, eat, drink, have a good time, and not have any worries. Because I feel like nowadays when you go to someone's birthday or even weddings now, the expectation is to spend like $500 or more.
Right.
And then like, I just feel like, okay, and I want to ask your opinion. So if you go to something, like let's say I was getting married, which we know this is not happening right now, but let's say I was getting married and I wanted to get married in Hawaii. And your flight is about over $1,000. Then you got to pay for your hotel. Do you get that? Do you get me a gift after spending like almost $2,000 just to come to the wedding?
Mm-hmm. I think that if I couldn't do both, I would just send you a gift. Well, I guess it depends on which you would prefer me to do. But I mean, I think if you gave me enough time, all right, I'm getting married in 2 years. I'm going to Hawaii. There should be no reason I shouldn't get there. That's just how I'm thinking.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, all right, you might give me 24 months. I need a budget. But that's my best friend. But I'll be there and I'll get her a gift. But if you told me last minute and then you want a gift, I'm like, I'll just send you $500.
You said give me $100. I'm good.
No, I said five. It's still cheaper for me to send you $500.
500 is still crazy though. I don't know. Like I just
thinking of us as like our relationship.
Yeah, because of how our relationship, yes, and we're very close. So definitely we would look out when it comes to something like that. But I'm just like, I think about that all the time. And like, okay, yes, a situation like us, we're best friends. We've known each other forever. Yes, definitely going to show out, going to come, get you a gift, all of it. But I think like for your everyday guest, it's like, that's crazy. That's a lot, I just think it's crazy. And then even sometimes when we have these birthday dinners where it's like $200 a head, and it's like, if I did gifts and dinner and trips for everybody, I'm going to file bankrupt at the end of the year.
Yeah. No.
Like, I just don't. But, you know, we got the Afterpay and the Klarnas, and they really changed the game. And shout out to Klarna, Afterpay. And my Chase credit card is better than all of them.
Oh, really?
It's just, yes, I'm going to think you hit. The Chase Marriott credit card, spectacular, A1, 10 out of 10. Like it's crazy good. Like I almost am like scared to tell people about it because if everybody gets one, I want to be grandfathered in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have their own little like Klarna thing where like you can spread out payments. Like let's say it has to be a minimum of $100. It can go to 24,000, right? So let's say you have something that's like $200. You can literally spread 200 over 6 months. And they don't do interest, but they do something called a monthly fixed fee. But the monthly fixed fee could be like $2. Wow. So in order for you to spread your payments over 6 months, all you have to do is pay $12 extra on top of whatever that's like. What?
You've already got the limit. That's crazy. You know, I might have to tell Vlad about that because he banks with Chase, and then he's like a titanium Marriott because when he was working in Charlotte for like.
Oh yes, then he should. It's called My Chase Plan, and you can even like put numbers to see like what it would be like if you're doing a $200 purchase versus like a $1,200 purchase.
Oh wow!
But like the monthly fixed fees are not much at all. Like I think the most that I've seen when I've plugged in numbers is like $20 if I wanted to spread something over like 12 months. Wow. And I'm like, this is a game changer. A legit game changer. So yeah, a lot of the party's been going on to a My Chase Plan because I don't like to be like account poor.
Right.
I don't like to be account poor. Like I need to, so me doing interest free or doing like $3 extra to space something out over 3 months, like sign me up. Because then I always break it into 2-week payments because I pay on everything every 2 weeks.
Right. And I try to get my paychecks. But okay, so I had to cancel my Base Wax appointment yesterday. And she was like, well, it's a $50 convenience fee. She sent me that invoice. It said Afterpay. Yeah, what? She sent that invoice. It said Afterpay. I said, all right, $7. Definitely put it on the Afterpay.
Right, $7 is free.
I'm like, whatever, girl.
But I don't understand though.
It was last minute on my part. So I had paid her a deposit.
But did you do a deposit or no?
And then she was like, to cancel, it would be $50 of the remaining balance, which I think I had booked like eyebrow, lip chin, because I'm hairy, underarm, and then like a.
Yeah, girl, I do it too.
It was going to be like a heated eye mask too. I was doing all of that. So yeah, it was only like 20.
You was doing way too much. A heated eye mask. If you don't get a cold spoon and put that joint under there like back in the day.
So I was like, if she laying doing my eye, you know.
Oh, okay, okay. That's not bad.
She's got that sitting on there. You know, that's a little relaxing.
I think your girl has to be from Temple Hills or from Suitland. She's from Maryland and she moved out there. So? Yes, because most people will take you just lose your deposit. Nobody's charging, keeping the deposit and the convenience fee is a bit much. She's like, you're doing a whole lot. Or whatever. And then as soon as it said Afterpay, I'm like, ooh, bet $7. You get $7 today, you get $7 again in 2 weeks, $7 again. Like, that's fine, whatever. I don't even care. Because I was going to have to. I would even feel good about that. Like, yeah, you're not getting this whole $50, okay? You're getting $7 increments.
I had to come back to.
And I'm not booking again.
I had to come back to Virginia. So by the time I came back out there to make the appointment, it would have been gas anyway. And it was just, at this point, it was more so of my convenience fee of not having to run out there to save the money that I was going to be giving her. So I was just like, whatever, here. So. No,
for sure. Yeah, see, I've been missing out on all those expenses. I mean, like I'm still doing the waxing. Of course, we can't skip on that. But, I've been on my natural, the no brows, no nails. And that's getting ready to come to an end. Like for the birthday, I'm doing blondes and some other stuff to my hair. The lashes will be back. The brows will be tinted, laminated, the whole 9. But look, I really enjoyed my little natural season. And I told myself, thanks, girly. I told myself that I'm going to do at least 3 to 4 months out of the year natural because, like, I don't know, like, I definitely think that I'm cute. It's not something like I need the makeup, but, like, you do get comfortable when you're getting your lashes done every 2 weeks. Like, I'm not going to lie. When I first took everything off, I felt weird, like you're looking at yourself. It's not what you're used to seeing all the time. So I'm like, oh, I look a little bit weird. But like that took like a week or two. And then I started seeing like, oh my gosh, wow, skin popping. Wow, eyebrows with the castor oil. They're coming through a little bit. Like they're doing what needs to be done. So
the men love it.
I told myself, they do. Because I even went to like a day party and I did put on like a little, no foundation, but I put on some blush and I did some mascara and they were flocking.
I think because it's like they can see what they're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I think they like all the glam too because it looks good, of course. But it's like, oh, she's super cute. Right. She ain't gonna know her face, so I already know when she does. So
right. Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at. Like I like a good mix, and that's why I'm gonna do 3 to 4 months out of the year all natural, and the other months, my usual, whether it's lashes on or whatever. Because I think it does give that nice twist. Like I like to pop out every now and then, and just and I feel like that it's a good balance, and life is about balance. So switching gears to you, what did you do this weekend?
My mom
what have you been up to?
opened up a photography studio, so she had a ribbon cutting. Yes,
I saw that.
So she named it Lily Grace, and it's after my grandmother, Lily Mae, and then Avery Grace, my daughter. So we did that. Yeah.
Oh, that was so cute.
Was that Friday? Yeah, Friday at noon. And I knew it was gonna be on TV. I didn't know it was gonna be live. It was live.
Y'all were on the news? That's so cool. Wait, why are you laughing? Why were you? I don't know. I need to know. I was like, I don't know. If I knew if it was live, I'd been more nervous. So I was just kind of there, and then they're like, "All right, we're live. We're cutting it off." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Then they gave me the dullest scissors ever. Like I went to cut the ribbon, and it wasn't cutting. Yeah, but it's okay. It was like it was a bunch of us, and like it cut where it needed to cut. So, but yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, and they would have just pulled they just would have pulled an Alicia Keys. Nobody would have known. They would have edited it like they did the Super Bowl, and that ribbon would have cut right on through. Yeah, unless it's Fox. Fox News messy as hell. They would have showed y'all struggling.
Especially because we Black.
Right. No, exactly. Black people at it again can't even cut a ribbon. Like Fox News is so out of pocket. Fox News is very much always out of pocket. But that is so cool. I love that for your mom because I've seen her do the portraits. So it's so cool to see her transition to go from like Instagram to like having her own storefront. Like that's major. That is major. And I know that's not cheap. So like that's motivating. We love that. That's all I've done
this weekend. Just trying to chill.
Okay. It's major. Definitely good stuff.
Oh, I said these next few weekends,
What did you just say?
Like,
yeah, you're back to back. You got your boyfriend's birthday, then my birthday because we're both Taurians, the best sign. Yeah, so you have a lot to do. So then we'll move into our weekly bloopers. Talking about, so I don't know if you saw, but 50 Cent is, I don't even want to say pulling a Tyler Perry because like this is just, it's like that would be like me saying Louis Vuitton pulling a Givenchy. Like these are just two major people doing big things. But 50 Cent is opening or has opened, I think it's still in the works. He's still trying to expand it, but a G Unit Studios in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I thought to myself, I'm like, wait, isn't 50 from New York? And he is from like South Jamaica or Queens, something like that, New York. So I wonder what made him pick Louisiana, but I think that that's cool because I think Louisiana is a great city to start something in. Although I do want like him to do something in New York and LA because I feel like those are like the powerhouses of film and all of that. And I want to change that narrative. Like you don't need to go to the West Coast to be a star, or you don't have to go to New York because those are like places that are very expensive to live. It's just not feasible for the everyday person unless you want to just have nothing to your name, which you shouldn't have to do that to chase your dreams. But he's opening G Unit Studios in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm like, this is like Issa, Tyler Perry, now 50. Like this is dope. Yes. And 50 puts out quality Black projects. Now Tyler Perry, you do too. Yeah, I see. I haven't watched any Power. I've seen an episode, and then doesn't he do what else has?
Yeah, BMF.
Oh, I didn't know 50 did BMF. Okay.
Power spinoffs. What was it? In Canaan.
Oh yeah, I think somebody said he did was it SZA? Some or maybe it was his own, like 50's own documentary. I think he did that too and produced his own documentary. But I guess shout out to HBO and Stars for dropping the ball because I feel like Issa Rae and 50 would have stayed on those networks had they been a little bit more, open and bending to like letting them have their own kind of freedom and power with the network, and they didn't. So they said, okay, no worries. We have enough money to do our own studio.
I think
so I love that.
To do more.
I really love
Louisiana too. If I'm not mistaken.
I love that.
Like more like New Orleans, like, and so yeah, I think they're
doing that. So I could see it.
I think a good move on his part, yeah. Because we didn't see New York.
They should.
You said what? Oh, Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog is my movie. Yeah. I said Princess and the Frog is my movie. That joint, like that had me ready to go Louisiana.
My mom
Tiana, oh, that's my girl. And a little Firefly.
Oh, I feel like New York doesn't have any space.
What were you saying about New York?
Like, like
And that was another thing that I thought of too. Mm-hmm. If he did that, he'd have to do it in like Albany or something. It wouldn't be able to be in like the city. Like, where are you going to put it? But I guess it would be dynamic to maybe put it, because like, isn't there like a city in Jersey that's like super close to New York, like a hop, skip, and a jump away? If somebody built a studio in New Jersey, that would actually be very beneficial, because you could just like kind of all get on a tour bus and then like drive into the city for whatever scenes that day that need to take place in the city. Because I feel like a lot of filming happens in New York too, because it has that aesthetic that I love watching. I love seeing New York in movies. I love that brownstone. Like, I just love a good brownstone.
Like $10 million.
That would be the only reason why I would live in New York, is for a brownstone. And I know, it's crazy. It's worse than D&D.
Jay-Z's stash house, old stash house.
Yeah, I think New York might have it.
$1.2 million now because of gentrification. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
What? Mm-hmm. He should have bought his stash house. It would have been a good full circle moment.
Remember when they had roaches and rats? Yeah, y'all had it.
Right, he's like, y'all can have it. No, literally so traumatized.
All right, so. Oh, look.
But yeah, that's all I have. I saw that.
I didn't even say what I was supposed to say about the weekend bloopers. Okay. It was so much going on, but
yeah, you have your blooper. What's your blooper?
I complete stuff when I started. So I told y'all last week about the Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole beef, about how Kendrick dropped a diss verse on a whole diss album that was dropped by Future and Retro Women.
No, literally. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Has anyone ever made a whole diss album?
We still don't trust you. So then,
yeah, that's wild.
J. Cole responded, and then of course we talked about how he apologized to Dreamville. So then Drake comes out with 2 responses.
Took it back,
which I was surprised, because he came back and he was very direct, and I was actually proud of Aubrey, because I just thought he was going to sit back. Yeah, I thought he was going to just kind of chill. I mean, it took him a little bit, but right. Yeah. And
lately he's been chilling. So I think he tried his best to sit on it as long as he could.
They said it was leaked. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he leaked that video of his hot dog. Yeah, okay.
And it's so unfortunate, because when I think of like the Rick Ross songs that I like, the top 3 Rick Ross, my favorite Rick Ross songs are Stay Scheming, Aston Martin Music, got Drake on it. Yeah, like that is just a classic song. And what's the other one? Music is, yeah, it's a good one. By Rick Ross. It doesn't have Drake on it, but still, it's the top 3 songs all about him has Drake on it. And I'm like, that's unfortunate. You guys are beefing. And then I saw that Chris Brown dropped a diss to Quavo. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but knowing Chris Brown, I know it's unhinged. I'm like, I already know it's unhinged. I know it's
unhinged. Oh, fire! It was crazy. Breezy doesn't miss. It's unhinged. Yes. Any Taurus. Breezy doesn't miss. Anytime Breezy's.
Yeah.
Breezy never misses when he raps, though. Like, even when he did
he is so
how you gonna hate him outside the club? You can't even get in, lag out. And then he started like, he can rap.
He can dance.
Like, we get R&B Breezy.
He can sing. And he's just overall like just true. But it's just his presence is just, I don't know.
He's just not loyal.
But I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's tall. Mm-hmm. He's got it all going. And I listened to it because someone sent it to me, and he cooked Quavo. Quavo just might as well not even try. Like, if I were Quavo's team, let it go. That's the best thing he could do, because if Quavo drops and it's trash, it just won't work. Like, because really the only thing that people have against Chris are 2 things. One, the whole speculation about him being on drugs, and then him with the Rihanna situation from years ago, where most of these men, I mean, I'm not saying that all Black men hit women, but like, they've probably tussled and gotten a little aggressive. And Chris brings that up, like, you still bringing that up. And then, like, we saw what you did to somebody in the elevator, which I don't know what he's talking about. I must have missed that elevator. Something happened with Quavo and a female in the elevator. And then, but you know what I really want people to stop doing? Because Drake did it too. Drake dragged SZA in it. And then Chris Brown dragged Sweetie in it. He talked about how he hit Sweetie. Like, can y'all stop
really blame Sweetie
talking about let these girls live. Oh my gosh, let them live. But I'm just like, dang, Sweetie.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No, I can blame her for Lil Baby. I mean, I know he gave you $100K shopping spree, but like, yeah, allegedly Lil Baby, Chris Brown.
Well, you know, she got that.
Yeah, it's a Diddy's son.
Nikki said it's
she's tied to a couple.
Oh yeah, remember?
But yeah, they were saying
she was like kind of slim when she first came out. But yeah,
she got work done.
I'm sorry, it's not a lot of BBLs I'm a fan of.
Bernice, I wish everybody would stop doing that.
And I'm fully convinced she got hers done in like the 90s, and then somebody killed her doctor because I have not seen a one as good as Bernice's since. Everybody else is just look odd.
They were saying, look. They were saying that Lil Baby took Bernice to Bahamas, and Sweetie got $100K shopping spree, but he took Bernice to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Sweetie is so pretty. So is Bernice, but like, yeah, Sweetie is gorgeous. But yeah, like I need the men, like when we're rapping, like don't drag us women into it. Like stay on 10 toes. That's the only thing that I'm like, Chris, like leave it alone. And he's talking about how like, yeah, you hit my ex after I was done with it. I hit your ex while he was with her. And I'm just like, damn. So Sweetie just was over the relationship. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I forgot?
Yep, I forgot that Karrueche and Quavo were associated for a minute.
For the Kendrick disc, the Like That one.
Yeah.
Yes, that dropped Justin LeBoy on Justin LeBoy's podcast. I think it's called The Download. But yeah, he debuted it on that. And I'm like, I don't know if this is clone Kanye. It's looking like clone Kanye, but he better turn this up for the summer. That's all I know. But yeah. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
So you liked it?
Because, you know, no, they said that.
Okay, so when y'all say clone Kanye, does that mean like
you know how he disappeared and came back?
Is that good or bad?
They say, I'm gonna say they say, don't cancel me, y'all. Mm-hmm. But they say that Bianca is his handler. It's like it's projected like he's controlling her, but they were like, all right, it was a Kanye that was acting up. He went away, came back with this new wife that it looks like he's controlling, but it's like it's a whole new man. You know how conspiracy. So they said this is a whole clone that's being, yeah. They said this is the clone Kanye, which he said himself. Yeah.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories.
Like disappears and comes back. It's not him.
I think they would clone people, but not Kanye.
He said if I ever disappear. Maybe too. I mean, either way, I'm gonna listen to his stuff, but
that's what he said.
It was something off. Like I don't know.
But maybe he's a marketing genius.
It's something slightly off, and I love Kanye, so I want him to win. But it's like it's something.
Yeah, it's not giving
right. Something not right. But mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, something not right. I'm weak. But oh my gosh, and what I forgot to also mention, because you hadn't listened to the Chris Brown Quavo disc, this man said everybody wished it was you instead of Takeoff. Yes.
That's one thing about
and he was like
about us earth signs.
He was like, oh, they said Breezy took it too far. Breezy, don't do it. Don't say it.
And then
I said, OMG. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Earth sign will keep it so cool. But then when you take it too far, we just go like it's it. Like because I sat too long quiet and I let you slide, but you keep pushing and poking. Now I'm going all out. Because I feel like I'm like that too. Like I let a lot of stuff slide, but then if you keep trying to do a narrative, then I have to start to correct your narrative. We don't. We really don't. We just disrupt. We just disrupt people's insides. It's just people. I don't know. We know how to get under the skin and do nothing.
Just here trying to exist, and why are you so upset with me? But yeah, right.
Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, but I'm liking the this season. Like it's this season, and I'm enjoying it. And I guess Nicki and Meg kind of started it off, and
because I love Nicki too.
It's just gonna keep going.
I would have went to her concert, but I run out of money.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like everybody wants to. I'm weak. Everybody should have put it on Klarna or Afterpay. I'm sure them tickets was on there, and you could have been going for $100 a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Nikki too. Even if people want me not to like her, it's just like, I don't know. I think it's so funny when people try to talk about certain things, but like act like their life is perfect. And I'm just like that person. Like I'm never going to see one side to anything. I'm always looking at it from both sides. And I think people don't like that. Like they want, like, you know, a lot of times your friends, when they tell you something, they want you to be on their side and be like, oh yeah, he was dead wrong. Or like, yeah, she's dead wrong. Like I wouldn't, but that's not how my brain works, because I feel like I'm not perfect. So I would want the same grace. So I always try to like bring grace to a situation. But yeah, I can't either, especially because like I just had one of my friends, she like made a comment about how women in the WNBA don't make a lot of money. So she was like, I knew right then and there, like I was quitting basketball and I was going into cybersecurity. And when I tell you, she posted that video years ago and she had Twitter in a frenzy over it. Like even WNBA players saw the tweet, like MVPs of the WNBA, and were like laughing at my friend. Because like the internet is cruel. They went and looked her up and like looked up her stats, and she was like ranked like almost 4,000 in the world. And they were like, sis, laughing, like you weren't even a prospect for the NBA. Like, but you know, like people make videos and it's not for factual. It's like to put things into perspective. It's not like, but either way, at the end of the day, whether she was perspective or not, she was like, why am I wasting my time? Because when you're in school and you're a college athlete, it's a job. So why am I going to sit here and go to practice every day, go to games, pick a major just so I can deal with my athlete workload and then come out, not go to the league and make $60K? It doesn't make sense. So I stand with my friends, and you guys need to stop it. But they know how to find it. Like they know how to find the deleted tweets, and they go into the cloud and they find it. So I told myself, like, if it happens, I'm just going to let them find it. And I just feel like my track record shows that like all the main hitters, like I'm not racist, I'm not homophobic. Like I feel like I hit the triangle or rectangle of peers that it's like, don't trust myself. Like I'm going to be like a Karen. Like I had white friends. My best friends were white. Like, you know, so I don't know. Because it's just too much scrubbing. Me too. And I can't delete my Twitter. Like I've been trying to delete my Twitter and I cannot delete it. Like it won't let me. And I don't know how. And I just hope that like if I don't tweet for the next decade, it'll delete itself. My daughter has a master's. I haven't tried to Google it recently because I'm like, I need to stop Googling that. She only makes $30K. And so while y'all somebody was like, how about you complain about both? And then I was thinking about when we were in London and the guys were like, pharmacists don't make that much. They make like 56 to 60. And you were like, I wouldn't even go to school for that. Like, I'm not even wasting my time for that. But a master's degree and making 30K, that's ridiculous. You could have walked up, right? Would it? I'm not. And what's so crazy though is like, so let's say I wanted to go to London and get my pharmacy degree because let's say college may be cheaper, or uni, I think they call it uni out there. Uni would be cheaper. Even if you like try to come, because there's people that come from all over the world that want to be pharmacists in the US. And it's, you have to, it doesn't even make sense to do. Like, so if you become a pharmacist in another country and try to come here, it's going to be like another decade, not a decade, I'm being dramatic, but like you have to be like a tech for like 4 years before you could even like be a pharmacist. So it's like it's not even worth it. It's crazy. They do like this. Yeah, it's just. So yeah, if I was in the UK, I wouldn't have been a pharmacist. I don't know what I would have been in the UK, but wasn't he saying like the doctors don't get that much either? Like, don't we pay our doctors way more out here too? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, but, and then Anthem is not paying their bills. But I think it's because they're universal, so maybe that's putting, you know, that's what. See, they don't got Obamacare. They don't got King Charles care. I don't know what they got out there. And maybe that's why, because don't they pay all this to the king? It's like marble on the wall. And grandma was like, getting the insurance money. I'm like, yes, ma'am, they are. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, crazy. But I guess moving right along, we're gonna go ahead and do the recommended review because we supposed to do that too. We're doing all of that. Our co-pays, all of it. So I'm gonna jump right. So I'm gonna jump right into the one that you assigned me. Imitation of Life. What year was that? Did I write that down? There's 2 of them.
The one that you had me watch, I think, is 19.
But Life Be Life.
1959, and it was a Golden Globe winner. And the description is Laura Meredith, a white single mother who dreams of being on Broadway, has a chance encounter with Annie Johnson, a Black widow. Annie becomes the caretaker of Laura's daughter, Susie, while Laura pursues her stage career. Both women deal with the difficulties of motherhood. Laura's thirst for fame threatens her relationship with Susie, while Annie's light-skinned daughter, Sarah Jane, struggles with her African-American identity. So, I recognize this movie, like, whenever they do, like, a montage of, like, Black women helper movies. I've seen Annie with Laura. Essentially, the movie starts off with Laura being at this really packed beach with her daughter, Susie. And Laura is, like, what, 30s? But she's super, like, beautiful. Blonde hair, blue eyes, just, like, typical star quality white lady. She is a widow too. I think they're both widows, and she's trying to get into the acting industry. So of course people are preying on the fact that she's pretty, she's older. They're trying to be like, okay, I'll represent you, but you need to be my date. You basically need to be my girl. I like the way you look. So she's on the beach. She loses her daughter, and her daughter actually is in the care of Annie, who also has a daughter around the same age who's biracial, but she's passing for white, Sarah Jane. And Annie finesses herself into this lady's house so quick. Like, by the end of the day, she's living with her. Yes. And they live together for like 20 years. So while they're also at the beach, they meet this man named Steve, and Steve's immediately attracted to Laura.
No, literally,
like every time Steve tries to
picking up the phone, yes,
she's putting him on the back burner for her career, which does grow. She dates other men, but she just kept putting Steve off. So her daughter, of course, is growing up with Steve, which was weird to me too when I saw this at the end. So Steve is still like hanging out. Right. So so of course Steve is supposed to be like the stepdad of the daughter, but the mom never made that official because she's always out. So Steve would still come by and like pick up the daughter, take her out,
Yeah, and it made sense for why the daughter liked him.
But she's growing up and actually developing feelings for him because like he's the only man she sees. He's technically kind of like courting her, not officially, but he's taking her out like dinners, dances. Sarah Jane is passing as white every chance she gets. The fact when her mom comes around that people find out that she's Black, she's really rude to her mom. Honestly, she could have left her in the 5th grade. The first time her mom came to the school to pick her up in the 5th grade, and she could have left her in the 5th grade because Sarah, the way she acted, she never changed. She never changed. Yeah, never changed. Yeah.
Yes. That was crazy. When she was like, until her mom was until it was too late. And then you realize, like, yeah, like you realize, like that scene, those two scenes are like the scenes that break my heart. Is when she's in school and she's like, Sarah Jane, and she's literally like, I can't even imagine. Like, you know how excited kids get when they see their parents in school? Like, it's like, I remember like getting excited when I would see my mom or my dad or my brother, like whoever was coming to pick me up. And it's like, you're sitting here and Annie is sweet as can be. Like every time she wanted to be white, like she handled it with such grace where I would have probably had a belt to that ass. But she was so like had so much grace with her daughter, and like that broke my heart when she's at the school. That made me cry when she's like literally telling Sarah Jane, you forgot your coat, and she's like, her daughter is literally ignoring her. And then also when, of course, she's like, I'm white, mama, I'm white. And I'm like, girl, you are disgusting. Like, yes. And he slapped her. Yes, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And you still want to be like, girl, like you see what they do, that you still want to be? You want to be white? You see what this man just did to you just because you're Black and you want to be white? Like,
yeah,
that was crazy. And then like when her mom was, I'm just coming to say bye one last time to my baby. And she's still acting like her mom is the help at the hotel, motel. Like, I just am like, girl, that is crazy. Like, ugh. Yeah, it's my mom's favorite movie, so she always had us watch it growing up, which I think was very important.
Yeah,
for me to watch because a lot of times, sometimes if nobody saw my dad
and people be like,
and they saw my mom and saw pictures of me, they assumed my mom's husband was white.
But yeah,
like people will like ask me if I'm mixed.
When people have asked you, and I think people have asked me like about you. I think they think you're like some type of Asian or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yep. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
just because your eyes, I could see more so Asian than Spanish, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get Asian, I get Spanish, and I always tell people I'm black times black. Okay, mama black, daddy black, grandparents black. Yeah, me too, because I have these tiny eyes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like when I was younger, like I used to be kind of like that was kind of like ooh, he thinks I'm exotic. Like he thinks I'm, I'm different. And like now I'm like really like I am black. I don't want to be associated as being, not that there's anything wrong with anyone being mixed. There's nothing wrong with that, but like I'm proud that like I'm black and just the black looks many different ways. And I think eventually as more people create children, they will see black comes in many different eye shapes. Like chinky eyes are like smaller eyes don't necessarily have to be shaped with just Asian culture, but like I get that is like their kind of storefront or they're like one of the pillars of like, being Asian. But yeah, I used to like really like lean into that. Like, oh, he thinks I'm mixed, but I'm not. Like, and that's very goofy. I wasn't on it as bad as Sarah Jane, but I was definitely on my like taking pride in like being the cool black girl. And like now that I'm older and wiser and less ignorant, like I don't want any misconceptions about my race. I am fully black, no mixed in me. And like I want the same for my kids. And I know there's a chance they could be light. But I'm hoping they are brown. I want a nice little caramel baby. But whatever the Lord's will is, I gotta accept whatever the Lord give me. But yeah, I would love for my kids to be a nice brown. But I hope like I don't want them to get that connotation of like because their mom is light and they're dark. Like I don't want that dynamic either. Because and I don't want my daughter feeling like it is. Like, it really is. Like so-and-so, and they look nothing alike. They just are like same with curly hair. And I'm like, you about to be in that same box? What you talking about? Are you trying to group them together? Right. So you look like them too? Like, y'all, they don't look nothing alike. They just literally have the same features. But yeah, so. Right. You fit the description of what you're making the standard. You're the standard, sweetheart. Exactly. Yeah. I feel like once she gets older and people start telling her she looks like somebody that she looks nothing like just because she's light and has curly hair, then it'll make her kind of be like, okay, no, we don't all look alike just because we're light skinned with curly hair. So it's funny how like experiences shape kind of like your mindset and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I love that movie. It makes me cry. Like if I ever need to cry, I put that on. Like because sometimes I do have like, it's just so weird. My body is so weird. Like when I want to cry, I can't. And when I don't want to, I am. Like even with the movies we watched today, I got teary eyed at the end of two of them. And like, but like generally if I want to cry everything that I really want to cry about, like I can't. And then I'll put on Imitation of Life and it'll get it brewing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm able to like get the gears running. Holdovers, the Holdovers had it watery, but the ending of Shirley did. I can't wait to get into this week's. The last like 10 minutes that had me like my eyes started to water, and I was like, now this is what made the whole movie worth it because I was ready to come on here and say, Regina. No, I think literally it was go back and watch. To me, the theme of the Plot and Pop for this week was basically everything got good towards the end. But was there anything else you wanted to hit on before I go into your recommended review of mine that you gave me? Let me know how it is. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen it.
The whole
Isn't
thing,
that one in black and white the whole way through?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll try I don't know. The black and white movement is really hard for me. Like, I like how we watched some movies in the past that we reviewed that do like a mix. I can do a mix, but I don't know if I could do it a whole movie in black and white. Yeah, that might be a struggle for me. I don't know. I'll let you watch it and then tell me, and then I trust your judgment. So if you say it's really good, then I'll watch. But I'll wait. I'll wait to hear from you. Okay, so moving into the infamous Training Day, which is what Shawnee had recommended for me to watch, which I had not seen, y'all. And when I put that on my page, y'all went crazy. People were like, oh my God, you haven't seen this? And like, then my sister even tried it. Like, you haven't seen this? I said, girl, when did you see it? She was like, a couple months ago. Exactly. Like, please, mom was not letting us watch stuff like that. Like, when I tell you, my mom was very like, we were not watching hood classics. Shahida wasn't going for it. We were not watching hood classics. So like, at this big age of almost 30, in the past year or so, I've seen like, and I'm still not done. I have a lot of them to get through, but like, I haven't seen those classics that people are like talking about. And I don't even know if people would consider this one a classic. I guess it's just a Denzel classic because like this is a mix of characters. It's not really like a black classic, but it's like one of those classics like Save the Last Dance. Like, if you should have seen this movie. And I always, heard the King Kong quote, but never like really knew where it came from. And watching this movie, let me give y'all the description of what it is. So it's a police drama about a veteran officer who escorts a rookie on his first day with LAPD's tough inner city narcotics unit. Training Day is a blistering action drama that asks the audience to decide what is necessary, what is heroic, and what crosses the line in a herring gray zone of fighting urban crime. Does law-abiding law enforcement come at the expense of justice and public safety? If so, do we demand safe streets at any cost? So when this movie started, the thing I noticed was like, oh, this was Denzel in his prime. Like, this is the finest I've seen Denzel in any movie for me. I was like, whoa. Denis. Like, he was very, very, very handsome. So what got me at first was in towards the beginning of the movie, like, I felt like Denzel was doing like trying to hip him. Like, look, this is how this works. You can't always do things by the book. Like, even when they broke into that lady's, which I feel like his intentions were good, but his motive was not. So like, he's teaching him things which I think would be necessary while doing crime in LA, but like his motive for doing it, which was self-serving, it wasn't for the community. But I do believe like if you find that someone you think is hurting somebody and you don't necessarily have the paperwork and you have to kind of maybe plagiarize documents to get the evidence you need, then cool, do it. But when he broke into that lady's house and had him holding a gun to basically her son and her on the couch while Denzel's rummaging through the room, just trying to find stuff for himself, and then finds nothing. And then it's like, you get away with it because you're in the hood. So they don't care. They don't care what Denzel's doing over there. Because they don't even want to go over there. They're too scared to go over there anyways.
It would seem like
and
it was
I just thought it was crazy. Like if I were Ethan Hawke,
but I'm like, it ain't
I
no
would
way
have
all
quit.
that happened
He wouldn't
in one
have
day.
like. Okay, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Did this take place over like 2 to 3 days or like 2 days?
Like he was there at 6:37. Yeah, it is called Training Day, so maybe it really was just the one day. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what it gave. To me, it gave one day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it must have been 24 to 48 because when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, so much happened in one day, and like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Denzel was out.
Yeah, and I would have left mid training when you had me smoke that blunt, and then
this whole movie.
There was meth in it and all kinds of other shit in it that I've never. And you just introduced my virgin body to drugs to meth, huh? Like that, and then when he was like, and then trying to use it against him. What did you say?
My second family.
Yes, he really was. And then when he was like, I don't have methamphetamine, but you do. Like, you just had me smoke this blunt and now you're holding it over my head. But Denzel realized he had to do that because it's like, I can't drag him around. Like, he was basically like, let me get stuff on him first, then introduce him to my other crew of dirty ass cops, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Right. My second family. And they were ready to kill Ethan's ass. they were like, oh, no, he's not with the program. Like, let's take Ethan out. And then Ethan finally kind of came to his senses. But then it was kind of crazy because the hood or the community realized that Denzel was so dirty and like he was taking it too far. He was just killing people, that they didn't stand with him. And he was trying to tell, he said, everybody, you put a cap in his ass, I'll do this. Like he was giving them, like, he would say, I'll give you money, I'll do this, I'll do that. And none of them would do it. They were like, yeah, we're not shooting him. Like, you're the problem here. Yeah. They were literally over it. Like, even when he sat there, went and talked stuff to that, like that white guy in the couch, and then just blew a hole in him. And then Ethan was like, "Who was your friend?" He was like, "Nobody's your friend." Like, basically, like, he'll do whatever.
I ain't gonna lie.
And it's just like, Denzel was such a dirty cop. And it's like, part of me struggle. I mean, of course, if I come across, but I think a lot of cops do this though. If you come across a crime scene and there's 5 million and you take 1 million out of discovery, who would know?
Yeah.
And that's what I was like in the beginning. And that's what I was thinking. Like in the beginning, I'm like, they're like in the hood of LA, like the dangerous parts. They might not even see their family. Like the least that they can do if they bust this is like skim a little off the top. But I see how like one notion is a domino effect though, because if you do it, you get used to it, you develop a lifestyle off of it, and then that's where it gets shaky, is if you're not somebody that can do it one time every like 6 months. Like if you're doing it and it makes you become a crooked cop, because you get your hands on so much money that you're like, let's take out all the drug dealers. Like I'm ready to find all of them. Like, and it's just crazy. But I was really over here like trying to because like Denzel knew ways to like tell you, like, well, buy your wife a new purse, buy her a new car, like basically trying to motivate him to do these things. And like his moral compass was like, we shouldn't be doing this. Like, we're here to protect and serve, not protect, serve. It takes him off the top. And it was a crazy movie. And the way Denzel went out, because I remember you saying, because I've never seen Denzel die, but Denzel, I felt like probably was like, this is the last, and I'm gonna die in this movie and go out crazy, and I'm never going out crazy again. I'm never going out crazy again. And he went out crazy, and and it's been a minute since I watched it, because we were supposed to do this a couple weeks ago. But was it like the cars hit, and then was it a shootout, or was it just that car accident with all the cars coming and hitting? I can't remember. Okay, it was a shootout. Okay, that's what I thought. And then like I know that they had gotten like hit the back of his car, and then there was a bunch of bullets went through. So yeah. But Denzel, I mean, for all the havoc he caused, they could have tortured him and did way worse. So like he kind of went out in an easy way. I don't know if he won, because all them bullets, I'm sure he died pretty quickly. But this was crazy. Like to see Denzel in this role was real wild. Like I was like, damn, Denzel was not playing. And he played this role with such ease, and it's definitely a classic. Definitely it deserves all the flowers that it has. And I don't think he won anything for it, but I could definitely see a nomination. But I don't think he was. I had rewatched Training Day, and this is another one of Antoine Fuqua's numbers, and he does a good job.
Day, like you could see how he aged,
and it's so interesting seeing Ethan Hawke in this, like him in this versus him in that movie we just, what did we review with Julia Roberts? Leave the World Behind.
Best actor in leading role, Denzel Washington. Runner up.
Yes, literally. Baby Ethan and seasoned Ethan.
Let me see. Academy Award 22.
Is it giving any awards?
Yeah.
He might have won a BET award.
And Ethan Hawke got Best Supporting Actor for this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got Best Actor in leading, right? Best Actor in leading, yeah. It won a lot of awards.
Oh.
Yeah, and it won at the MTV Movie and TV Awards for Best Villain.
This man is
Black Reel Award for Best Director.
Like this is crazy.
Yeah, it took home the cake. And there used to be a Film Poster Award. That's cute.
And the little boy.
I could see that too. Yeah. He played that villain role real good. Really, really good. Really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. He was definitely
he was unhinged. Yeah. Denzel was unhinged, and then like Eva Mendes was, excuse me, his baby mama, and then like that scene with him and Ethan in the kitchen, and all the shots and the little boys like right there, and they're both talking to him, and I almost feel like the little boy might have known like his daddy won't shit, so he was like almost about to go to Ethan Hawke, and I was like, whoa, because like Denzel was speaking that Spanish to him. He was like, "Venga aquí, mijo, venga aquí." So that was not like that. That was yeah. And Eva was ready to get her son out. She was like, "Take him. I don't care. Just let me have my son. You can do whatever you want with this man." But yeah, it was very good. Very good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again. My kids will definitely watch it too one day.
So
but they're probably going to follow the same trajectory as me. They're not going to be watching that kind of stuff in middle school and things like that.
Trailblazing campaign to become the president of the United States. They're going to have to. So fun fact,
they're going to have some time on that one.
Ashana dressed up as Shirley Chisholm.
All right, moving into our plot and pop picks of the week.
I know. I was thinking it because I remember I had to go get the eyeglasses. Yeah, so I was excited to see this. I don't want to say I'm trying not to compare movies because that's literally what we do on this podcast, but I'm trying to like associate movies with something we've already watched.
I wish we had the
pictures. The closest thing would be Rustin that we've watched. Yes. If I had to pick, I would probably pick Rustin over this, to be honest. It had Regina King in it, which I love Regina King. Great actress. She co-produced this with her sister, Raina King, who was also there. She played her sister on screen too.
That's what comes to mind for me too.
And that was their first time ever sharing the screen together. Who else was in here with her? Terrence Howard was in here as Arthur Hardwick. Right. And then Lance Reddick, I love The Wire. He was Cedric Daniels from The Wire.
Yes, I saw that.
He passed away. So I know him he was a recurring character I think he was in all of the seasons of The Wire. Who else? I like this.
Very unique role, though.
A little bit slower than I thought. But again, unlike Rustin, like Shirley Chisholm was a powerhouse in her own right, like Rustin. But I think Rustin had a little bit more going on with like all the sexual allegations, the way just he carried himself.
Probably.
Yeah, he just had a little more, not more personality, but he was just a little more entertaining. Even like watching the Rustin character in Genius, they still have like a little more spunk. So I think it just made it more.
She was.
Yeah, I think that's what just kind of drove it. But the fact that she was like the
Congresswoman, it captured us more on screen.
Like, I can't believe you make $46,000 or something like me. And she's like, "We'll just stop bringing it up because I'm making room for more people to make $46,000 like you." But what else did I pull from there?
Yeah, you wanted to know more.
Conrad. He kind of reminded me of, what's that lady's name? Felicia from Maestro, of how I felt like he had to kind of, and even he said something to her about it. Like, I didn't write the quote down, but it was something like, "You can't expect me to be a shadow of a husband and then get mad when I do too good of a job of it." So.
Yes, took the back burner. Yes, when she was threatened, or like when that white man was going to stab her. Right. And I felt what he was saying, like, look, we can't, you got to pick one or the other. And I get like you wanting your husband to protect you in that moment, but at the same time, like, I'm not next to you every step of the way. I'm over to the side and like, I'm taking pictures, and I'm taking pictures of the event. And I'm not just, I'm not, yes, I'm security, but you got me as the cameraman too. I can't be security and camera and social media manager. Like it just can't all be. And their marriage, and I think that that's what people don't realize. I think that Shirley would be a great movie for like when we were in school and we had to watch a movie that was like about history, this would have thrived there. But when I'm watching it like from home, I need like a little bit of dramatization. Like I would have loved a little thing that says that some of the things in here were dramatized. Like their marital issues could have been dramatized a little bit. Because like I said, the ending was the best part for me. Like it was what really tied the movie together to see like how devastated she was when she found out that Ron was gonna get behind McGovern, whatever that man's name was. Me too. But I loved how she had so much grace. But yes, and it also made me think like, damn, like I could never be a politician. Like, don't sign me up because I don't want to lie and like literally to be a politician. It's all about like lying and like telling people what they want to hear, twisting things, being able to like move on the fly with your words. Yeah. And also like getting people to vote for me, like trying to convince people why they should vote. Count me out. I don't care. Like if you don't like me, then don't like me. Like I just don't have enough gall to like really be out here like really wanting, like, of course I don't want the world to hate me, but at the same time I also don't give a damn about being getting the majority vote. If I got a few votes, I'm cool, you know? And like that's kind of what politics are, is like you literally have to get a body of people to want to back you, even if that body of people is ignorant, has no clue about how anything works. It's literally like a persuasion game. And it was yeah. But one of the things that like made me with the whole Shirley thing, I started looking up like things that were happening during that time, and like they were bringing up like Nixon, and like of course I've always heard things about Nixon, but I didn't really like know. And then like I started researching like Watergate dealt with Nixon. Do you know what Watergate is? Yeah, but do you know what the scandal was? They broke into like this Democratic building and they were trying to get pictures of documents, but ultimately failed. And I guess Nixon lied about it and didn't say how he was a part of it. And so I was like, okay, I didn't really know about that. Like they're talking about we don't want another Nixon, and like I remember hearing like so many things about Nixon, but not really like knowing really what, like, oh, I've heard of Watergate, but could not tell you what the hell Watergate was. So it was just so many things were happening around the time that Shirley was happening. Like the Vietnam was coming to a close. The civil rights movement had just come to a close. So it's crazy that she was able to achieve the things she did during that time of like newly getting rid of segregation and things like that. So like, and she had a je ne sais quoi about her. Like I really liked like towards the end where they were showing pictures of her and like how her hair was, and like you said, the cat eye glasses. Like I was like, okay, Shirley, you better work. I can tell you I'm from Virginia, but the film overall just didn't really grab me. But I think Regina King showed up great as an actress, but I think directing and writing could have been better.
What Simone, our friend Simone, she's Jamaican. She's Fancy Black. I call her. So Shirley also was Fancy Black. I think she was from Barbados, from what I looked at, and it was like, yeah. So I didn't know that about her at all. I don't know where I thought she was from originally before that. But clearly, I didn't do my research in the 6th grade.
Oh, you mean like down the
lineage? I definitely just found that.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, and then did you see at the end she divorced? Okay, she got divorced, and then married Terrence Howard's character.
She had an accent. Yeah, I couldn't really put my finger on it. I'm weak. Yes, and I'm like, we all could have threw a little of that tension in there for us to think that would have maybe happened. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain, and I get it that you want to like probably Shirley's family, but like you can still make a little bit of a film and dramatize it a little bit. And like I said, the last 20 minutes were the best part, where it was like the devastating, like like all of us being angry that like he went and flip-flopped, and he was like, can you excuse me for a moment? She was like, no, let him stay right there. And then to find out like all the other things that happened, like she brought 50 pieces of legislation in place. Like how much they paid him, I don't know. I wanted more from the movie, and I saw that she ended up marrying Arthur, which was Terrence Howard's character, who played such a back burner. Like, and I was like, Conrad, was it? Because remember, I don't know if you remember. Remember when Terrence Howard said that he was like retiring?
You know, with my wife, and to end up.
So I'm like, was this before or after retirement? Because if this was before, then yes, you needed to retire. What's going on?
As if he was there. Yeah, like he was there hanging on the whole time. That's what it was giving.
I agree, because I was,
man. True. Yeah, that's very true.
Right. So, like, what was really going on behind the scenes? Because she married him later that year. Like, they got divorced and she married him later that year. And I was like, damn, Shirley. Yeah, it was. But you know, women like will be way checked out before we actually like check out. Because I check out and then I'll still stay in, but I'm already checked out. Not encouraging that behavior, not saying you should go and develop new relationships, but I see how women can, like, you try to hang in there as long as you can. So then when the marriage does dissolve, you're like, yes, you're broke, you're heartbroken, but it's not as much as if like something comes out of nowhere or hits you.
Rustin, Shirley.
Yeah, exactly, out of nowhere. But yeah, Shirley was okay. Probably a C minus, D plus for me on Shirley, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It would have. Yep, that's something they could put on. It doesn't like you. Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't have a lot of like vulgarity in it, so it's easy to pass for showing kids in school for sure. Okay, moving on to our next plot and pop, The Holdovers. I'll read the description and then tell you guys a little bit about it because it has won a few awards. An instructor at a New England prep school remains on campus during Christmas break to babysit a handful of students with nowhere to go.
I want to say this. I'm such a
He soon forms an unlikely bond with a brainy but damaged troublemaker and with the school's head cook, a woman who just lost a son in the Vietnam War. This stars Paul Giamatti, which is a really big, well-known actor playing the instructor that's at this New England prep school by the name of Paul Hunnam. And then the troublemaker that, yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Big fat liar. Me too. Ferdinand as an man. That's what I thought of too. That is Paul. That's what we know Paul from.
Divine. Yeah, Divine's literally.
No, literally. No, literally. That's the main thing. And he looks the same, and that's where I know him from. And then the troublemaker is Angus Tully, played by Dominic Sessa. And then the cook is Mary Lamb, which is played by, is it Divine? Divine Joy Randolph. So the Holdovers actually took home a couple of awards. Divine Joy Randolph won Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. And she was up against Jodie Foster from Nyad, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks from The Color of Purple, and America Ferrera in Barbie. After watching this, congratulations to her on that role, but I thought she did good, but it wasn't giving Academy Award for Best Actress based on who she was up against. To me, the list doesn't really have a lot of standouts, but I thought Danielle Brooks from The Color Purple, like, I don't know if anyone saw the new musical, she did her thing. Like, she hit on all the strings, the laugh, like, she made me laugh, she made me sad, like, she just embodied that character so well. And that's who I probably would have thought would have ran away and won this, but it ended up being Divine, which is awesome, like, good for her. But like, after watching The Holdovers and it being another yet slow burn kind of film, I didn't see that. But Paul Giamatti also won a Golden Globe for Best Actor for this film. Yes, he won the Golden Globe, and like after he won, he went to like In-N-Out and had a burger with like his friends and stuff. Yeah, which seems like such a Paul thing to do. Like, I think he very much, like, I think a lot of his personality comes out in his roles. Like, I think even like Big Fat Liar, like, he has some aspects that would come out and would be in this. So when I was watching this, overall I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I kind of, because like we knew that this won awards before watching it, I kind of was looking for, like, I had a lot of high hopes, like, oh, this one, like, I gotta see what this is gonna do, especially because we have a Black queen, Divine. Like, oh yeah, I need to see what kind of performance she gave. And it just didn't hit that mark for me. Yeah. I thought it was really good, and I wasn't really captured by Divine in this movie. I was more so captured by the relationship that developed between Paul Hunnam and Angus Tully. Because I felt so bad for Angus. Like, how he was acting out, but he had been through so much. Like, here he is, his dad's in the crazy house, which I never realized. Like, when him and his mom were on the phone, she's like, I miss him too. I'm thinking dad did the abandonment trick, the abandonment hat trick. But no, he like literally was in a crazy house. And it almost seemed to me like Angus felt like his dad shouldn't have been in there. Because when he went in there all like really hopeful, telling him about all this stuff, he was like, his dad was very like high anxiety, high ridden, like, I think they're trying to poison me in here. And like, he literally completely disregarded everything his son said. So then I felt really bad. And I felt like Paul Hunnam kind of felt bad too. And that's why like he stuck up for him in the end when he was about to get kicked out. He was like, oh, I took him to see his dad. It was my idea. Like, I came up with it. And he took such a big risk because, you know, he was working at that school because he technically really couldn't get a job anywhere because of the whole plagiarism. Well, the alleged plagiarism, which he didn't actually plagiarize. The guy plagiarized off him. And he even lied, and like Angus was playing his nephew when he ran into one of his old ADHD colleagues, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm writing a book," and they were like, "I'll be on the lookout for the book." And it just it was a decent movie, but I really liked that teacher-student relationship because I do feel like a lot of times, sometimes teachers are parents for students.
Expectations for
and those relationships develop like that.
And again, she did a great job. I felt like they had her playing an older person. Like, she's only 37, but the role they had her playing was more like, well,
yeah, it was slow.
But like, I don't know. I felt like it was, yeah.
Oh wow.
It was a lot. She was playing a lot older role. I think my mom was in here. I was telling her I've been so angry because his mom called him at the last minute. He's got his bags packed, ready to go to St. Kitts, and she's like,
yeah,
no. She could have sent him somewhere else. Like, she could have made other.
It was giving old grandma, like in the kitchen, like, hey baby, how you doing? Come get you some food and sit down. Yeah, it was.
Right. Because he was able to pay for his hospital bill out of pocket. So he could have went anywhere. Like, she could have okayed. And then they weren't even answering the phone when they wanted to send them, when the other boys went on that helicopter to wherever they were going, ski trip or something. She wasn't even
right, all that money they had.
So not only did she not take him to St. Kitts or send him somewhere else, she was unavailable.
We haven't had a honeymoon yet. We haven't had a honeymoon. Girl.
But like, I don't know why I felt like Paul's character, Paul, was feeling Mary. Did you get that?
Yeah, like you couldn't even pick up the phone and give them an okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I wrote that down. Like, I thought that they were gonna kind of have a romantic relationship, but it didn't go that way. And I thought that was interesting because they would watch Newlyweds show together, and he liked to be alone, but yet he always found. And then even when she was in the kitchen crying about like her son, he was the one to be able to like calm her down, comfort her, get her out the kitchen and into the car. So like, I did think there was going to be a type of romantic relationship that was going to develop there that never did. And then did it throw you off when it was her real name is Carrie Preston, but she played Miss Lydia, the waitress in the bar.
They're just for you.
I thought she liked him too, so I did think that.
And then even like when they saw him at the bar,
mistletoe, just randomly kissed this man. Then her boyfriend walks in and she's making out with him. Girl, I wish my boyfriend would kiss somebody. Something some mistletoe, mistletoe, your ass. I'm like, what? I was so confused by that.
Yeah, I don't know. But the fact that at the end, like, he took responsibility for the trip and gets him fired because his whole life was that school. So it really showed like his growth as a character to actually care about his kids. Versus before it was just like, I'm here to educate them.
Yeah, and then I'm like, you have a boyfriend? They're dumb. Girl, what?
I can't help that they're dumb. I'm telling them the facts. If they
like,
can't
what
pick
do you
it
have
up,
going on?
Like, he was not sympathizing with them at all. Like, and then it just like he completely did a change. So I did see the growth, and like you said at the end, it all comes together.
But it really was
just moving through the movie. It wasn't bad. It was just slower.
At all.
That was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Once again, another mediocre pick. Another mediocre pick where I felt like the end was really good. Like when he decided he was, leaving, then she gave him Mary gave him the journal to start writing his book. Like, you done told everybody writing a book. Now now actually write one. Like, I thought that was cool. Yeah. And like, yeah, it had some good like winning moments for the characters. And even Tully, like, I felt like he was growing as a character too, because he could have used, like, when he got hurt, he could have gotten Mr. Hunnam fired, and they want to worry about Mr. Hunnam in those tests and like having to study over winter break, and like there was just a lot of things. Like, even when they went to the movies together, and then he was like, I was gonna come back. Like, I really do truly believe he was gonna come back. Like, I don't think he was gonna set Mr. Hunnam up to like get in any kind of trouble, which it kind of would have probably worked out better, but he couldn't. He had to keep eyes on the kids. But if he would have just let Tully go to the thing, well, then it still would have blew back on him, because it was like, why didn't you know he left? But then maybe could have finessed it, but then the visiting hours wouldn't be happening then. I feel like it's good. I was gonna say, like, he just snuck off and went to see his dad, knew nothing about it. But
like, it's not something I feel like I'll.
Yeah, it didn't work out that way. But it was a decent movie. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. But it was a decent movie. It's around the same kind of rating with Shirley.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go back and watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I felt about Pho. Like, the first time I was watching it, I started it over, was getting confused. But then when I really started it over, rewatched, like, I loved Pho. Like, I really loved Pho. I thought that was a really good movie.
Right.
But I don't like feel that way about these ones, like Shirley or Holdovers.
Right.
Like, I was multitasking while watching both of these, and I don't plan on watching it uninterrupted. It's not possible for my brain to do it. Not possible. But, I'm glad that they walked away with, it showed the dynamics of them as actors, which I think is important. And just, to me, wasn't an overall great film, but I think trilogy. No one did a terrible job. It wasn't like, one of the worst movies I ever saw. Like, it wasn't anything like that. So, it did what it needed to do for who it needed to do it for.
Oh, really?
So moving into our last plot and pop.
Because they definitely put it in London,
until I was looking it up, but it was allegedly a Chinese book, and allegedly they flipped the whole book. Like, they twisted and did all the stuff to the book. Allegedly, China's upset about it. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I saw.
Dr. Shin is Asian, but
like, they were like, y'all took this book that is not showing like basically removed the Chinese portion of it that really showed like the Chinese culture.
Yeah, no. Twice. No.
Yeah. I did not enjoy this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, show.
Twice. I don't know how they did that.
But I had like friends that loved it. Like, I had one friend who watched it 2 times. I said, "Why would you watch this 2 times?"
Echoes through space and time to a group of scientists.
I said, absolutely not. The last 2 episodes were the best episodes. That's where it started to pick up, and it was actually good for me. I just didn't really. I just really couldn't. I'll let you go ahead and read the description and we dive into it. But I couldn't get into it.
My favorite character. I'll start with my favorite character was Dr. Jin Cheng, played by Jess Holmes. She was my favorite character. She really grew on me. I was really confused at first, and then it came out later because it was like, I don't know if I'm saying this lady's name right, but Vera's mom, Wenji, is that how you say Wenji Ye? Okay, Wenji. She's gonna be Wenji today. I was confused because she was acting confused, as like she didn't know what was going on. I'm like, girl, you shot the son back in the 1960s. But then I realized she was part of the conspiracy. Like, this was her playing, like, because the whole time I'm like, why is she acting clueless about what is going on, as if she was not fully involved with this back in the 60s when she was working in China with the government. But then it came out that she is like the main person guiding these aliens, her and her, I guess, baby daddy. Yes, who she says never gonna have a child.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, played by Jonathan Pryce, is his name. Again, like, I thought the video game thing was cool. I did like when those scenes came up. Yes.
Yeah, the white guy.
Silver those were my favorite scenes when they were basically in the video game trying to figure out what happened. And my anxiety would have been through the roof too with that little girl. Don't let me die, like the last few times.
VR goggles, yeah, VR goggles taken to the next level. That's what it looked like to me, like the VR goggles we got now, but a little bit more sleek.
So much
the $1 million VR goggles.
Augie with them making her stop doing her work with the nanofibers, and she had to count down to when she was going to die. And I don't know if you, basically yes. And then I don't know if you watched Baby Driver, but she's in that because I'm like, where do I know her from?
Oh, for sure.
She is. And she's not.
She was like Albert Einstein.
No, I definitely would have thought
she felt guilty.
Like you said, looking at the promotion, it looks like it'd be Augie.
Yes. So I kept trying to, I looked that up too. I was like, where do I know her from? And then I saw that she was in Baby Driver. Like, she's a very cute girl. And I feel like she's getting, I'm not saying it's not deserved, but I feel like she's kind of getting the highlight. Like if you look at the promotion for this, you would think she's the main character, but the main character is Jen.
To be a, what they call it, wall facer. Because it's like, it seems like,
and like even when you Google it, she's the first person.
Anybody, but he was very selfish, which I guess is also why he does not make a good wall facer, because they want to save humanity 400 years from now, and he could care less about humanity 400 years from now. But they also needed someone who would be able to just lead everybody else, and like he was not right, and he was the perfect candidate actually, because like Augie really wanted him to be. I think she really wanted to be with him. But he just
yeah.
Oh no, not all. No. He definitely
have no political ties, no ties at all.
He was like what 3-4 different women during the whole show. He.
Me too. And when even he was like saying to Will, like, "Oh, I wish I had what you had," and he was Will was like, "You do," and I'm like, "But Saul didn't." I don't feel like Saul felt the same about Augie the way Augie felt about Saul.
Somebody who can cut off, just think in their head and not even, not express it. But
I definitely she would call and and then the Irish woman that got hit because they were trying to hit him. Like, Saul stayed with the family. Saul had a complex. Didn't even know her name. Saul had a damn complex.
Character Will Downey.
Yeah, then it all of a sudden hit him.
I hated the fact that he never expressed himself to Jen, because when she was on that plane talking to her boyfriend, it kind of seemed like, I feel like if he would actually said something to her about loving her this whole time, it kind of gave friend.
Yeah, no ties.
And I don't know if, and then even when she said like, I love him, I wasn't really sure if it was love or like, that's my friend, I love him. It was kind of, I don't know. That she loved him.
I don't know. Like she kind of got on my nerves. Like, girl, you knew.
Yeah.
So I got the I love him, but like it's like it almost took him having to die for her to realize, for him to be nothing but just a brain, for her to realize like I messed up.
He was.
So it was like I felt like she was trying to fight it,
he was like fight in the Navy. Like no, I
even considering like,
what's his name?
I don't think it was that she didn't like him or did like him. I think she wouldn't even let herself process it. Like anytime someone brought it up, she's like, no, there's no way. But it was like Will was doing stuff like, let's go to the beach, just us, like, you know what I mean? But like when you put someone in that friendship box, you kind of only see them in that friendship box. And her boyfriend was fine. Not that has to do with like look, but he was cute. I was like, okay. Yeah, I don't even see him on the cast list, but
he did. So I think he had like 20 million pounds.
And I put show more, but I still don't see him on this list.
So he probably had like a $500 million left.
Yeah, like that to me, like, and then she didn't know. Like, and then, okay, so do you think Will had any money left when his sister came? Like, do you think he was just being facetious when his sister was like, you don't have any kids, you don't have a husband, like, we're your family, you need to give us what mom gave you? I thought he used mom's money to buy the star for Jen.
It was a little bit of both. I didn't think there was any money left. Because she probably was expecting the 20 million, but she's going to get a 500,000 pound check.
Oh, wow.
Which is still more than I felt like she deserved, because she had some nerve coming in there.
I don't know, girl. I don't know the
asking for
pound
money while he's
conversion.
on his deathbed,
I don't
and
think
she
pounds
hadn't
is.
even spoken to him. So yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. I think he did right. He got the money from mom, spent it on most of it on the star, but told her she can have the rest, but it's not going to be anything near as much as what she's thinking it was going to be. So he was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-mm.
And her broke husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also what I've learned from watching like this and Oppenheimer is like the pressure to be a physicist. I don't want it. Like all of this, like Will feeling like he was never good enough, never smart enough. Like I don't got time. That's crazy. Like that seems like a very competitive kind of field of work. And like I just don't see how you can be at peace in a field of work where nothing is a guarantee. And that was the thing too. Like so when you were like, I gotta look up the ending, I was kind of confused. But then I was like, what is the 3-body problem? And it basically was saying like when you have just two objects, let's just say the sun and Earth, you can detect, like you can predict their gravitational pulls. But when you throw in a third object, you cannot. The predictability eliminates itself. And I didn't know that. But I thought it was funny how Instagram kept doing like 3-body problem, and they were using literal senses and mixing gens like matchups. I saw you posted that on the page. And I thought that was funny.
And then they mentioned
she did.
mistress dying the same way as one of the physicists.
Yeah, she really did.
Like, I know what that is because I just watched
She really did.
So that was good too. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the beginning when they killed the dad because I guess he was believing in science over God. Y'all can never make me believe that there's no God. I just will never believe that. Right. But I feel like that's what, like, I feel like they kind of portrayed that you can't believe in God and be a physicist at the same time. I'm sure there are physicists who believe in God, but it almost seemed like that's the thing. Like it's either science or God. Like there's no in between.
She was like not on camera too.
I don't agree with the beginning. Like we shouldn't she was not like execute people just because we have because it was dissimilar so quickly, beliefs.
But I guess it was something the Santi were doing. Which the Santi are the aliens.
And also, I did not understand Tatiana's character, Marlo Kelly. Did you understand? Can you grasp what her
Wenji? Yay, back in the 1960s, was told that there might be potential aliens and not to communicate with them, and she still goes and communicates with them. So they get her communication, and now they realize their wherever planet they're living on is inhabitable.
Yeah, we did
so
it.
They're going to try Earth, but it's going to take them 400 years to get all of their people to Earth. So they've been communicating with her baby daddy, Mike Evans. They talk to him every day, and she's like so focused. And I was thinking too on the most blasphemous things that we watched. Again, it was so much put on Clarence, but between we watched Poor Things, I felt like was blasphemous. This was very blasphemous. Yes, the Lord never fails us. Yeah. No, I think that was the. See, I thought that was the government. I thought that was Raj in that.
Yes, calling them aliens, Lord.
Remember,
our Lord, thank you,
like,
Lord.
He was like, "Did you even ask?"
And I'm sorry, Lord, before they chopped
remember they were like,
Mike up in half. What was going? Okay, so Shawnee, my question. Okay, when Mike Evans died, you know how they sliced his body in half. They were slicing a lot of people. What was slicing them? Were the aliens just doing it?
I thought that was the government.
Because as far as they're concerned, they could just kill everybody then if they could just slice people in half.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So no, because remember, because Augie was like, "Your boyfriend's a murderer," or like she was like talking down on Raj because he was part of the project, and they were in Panama. Yeah. So I thought it was the
I thought that
I can
was
go
the
back and look again. I gotta
Santee.
do a little more research on this, but I was under the impression that it was the
And I thought
government that
I
was
thought the
trying to
Santee did it because they're
stop
like, you're a
them
liar
because they
and we
found out
don't
where they were
trust
at.
liars. And I thought that that's why
It's gotta be the way
they
it ended.
chopped him, like killed him.
And I did write down a couple quotes. It was like the
Yeah,
the Santee
like,
leader that they were calling Ward was like, a lack of fear leads to extinction. If your ancestors had followed the fearless, you would not exist.
Yeah.
Humanity must learn to fear again. And then Mike Evans was like, then we will teach them.
There's definitely going to be a season
then like the whole bug reference thing.
Yeah, the way it ended,
they're calling them bugs because like
definitely going to be a season 2 for sure.
And use all these like pesticides to get away. And then they brought it back up at the end, like, okay, even though pesticides are used, bugs are still resilient. So, okay, we can be bugs and y'all can still fight back. And then the last quote I wrote, I thought was cool. It was like, you don't need to believe in Santa Claus to believe people get gifts on Christmas.
Yeah.
To know people get gifts on Christmas.
Yeah, you want to step on them.
Oh, about, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I thought about the quotes, I can't remember there was one, it wasn't really a quote. It was when Wenji told the joke to Saul, and I didn't get it. And she was like, don't play with God. But I was like, so is she saying like she does now believe in God and it's not science? I was a little confused by her. But she was like, do you get it? She's like, well, some people, she's like, you have to have jokes. Like, you have to have jokes. You have to keep laughing. Like, it has to be. Jokes are imperative. Sometimes there's jokes between just two people. And I was just like, okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe they'll dive into like to let her daughter. Yeah, she was interesting.
Instagram, but Netflix. I think it's just the amount of people that are actually watching it.
We'll probably have to watch season 2 because we did season 1, but I hope they come a little bit. But they're watching it because it's on the top 10 list. This was not a favorite for me, and I don't. I think it was maybe a favorite for some, but I don't think a lot. Like to me, I don't know. Like I just think if they renew this and like they don't renew Brother Son, like that's just annoying. I don't know. Yeah. Right.
Yes. We actually have.
I don't think it hung on there very long. So like I don't even think it's still on there.
We have.
I don't even think it's still on there. So I think a lot more people are feeling the way we felt about it. Like it's
we're doing the last 4.
It's okay.
I did start that.
Yeah, this was an okay week, a very average viewing week for us.
Yes. Yeah, they're switching more to the women.
All right, going into next week's watch list. I'm excited for that. What do we have next week?
We're also doing Daria from Detroit on BET Plus. It actually might be Daria of Detroit. Anyway, it's about Daria in Detroit. Okay, Daria from Detroit on BET Plus, and then the gentleman. Oh, you finished? Okay, good. I think I'm getting.
I haven't started. I gotta get back on that. You said it's really good.
And then the gentleman on Netflix.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
And yeah, so I'm excited about all of these. So.
I think it's Daria from Detroit. I think you're right. I finished that very good. Yeah, that's a good one to watch while doing that. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be next week's going to be a good week. We're also going to get ready to do a rebranding period. So we have a lot of good, fun stuff coming for you guys. So keep a lookout on the page to see how we're going to do the month of May. It will be a little bit of a switch up where we will be doing some more involvement from you guys. So yes, please stay tuned. Stay tuned for that because we do want to hear from you guys and we do want to do your guys' fan picks and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned and we will see you guys next week. Have a great week or weekend. Bye.